This is Charlie Parsons for the Stomping Ground, powered by Wow Hydrate and available on DAZN. A shirt that only an infamous man like Oscar De La Hoya could pull off properly. I don't think I could ever pull off a number like that. How are you, sir? Saudi Arabia?
What's up, my man? I'm here. Yeah, Saudi Arabia. It's an honor. It really is. The fact that His Excellency is putting all these great events together with Riyadh season. The fact that this Saturday will be a special night of boxing, Latino nights in Riyadh, is it's thinking outside the box. It's doing something different, and this fight card, every single fight is a main event. This is a pay-per-view worthy type of event. And the most special part about it is that it's going to be free for everyone to watch. You don't even have to have the zone. You can just download the app and watch it for free. You don't have to, subscribe or anything. You can just go and watch for free. So, and all over the world, in Mexico, South America, Puerto Rico, US, it'll be for free. So we feel very proud of that we can put this fight card together and just give the fight fans a special gift.
I think probably important to highlight with that is that he staged some incredible events that have been pay-per-view with some stat cards as well. But I think for him, it was always, especially my conversations with him, were giving back to the fans, giving back to the consumers. And you talk about it being free Saturday night. That is something that's more important in this day and age of boxing, right?
It is very important. It's the boxing is a global sport. Boxing was once the king of all sports. And I have a great feeling that His Excellency wants to go back to those roots. He wants to make boxing great again. Just like Trump wants to make the US great again, he wants to make boxing great again for the world to watch. So I'm just very excited and honored that we can work with His Excellency and just bring the fight fans the fights they deserve to watch. And the fact that they're free is a huge plus for the industry, for the sport, for boxing, for everyone involved, for the fighters, for the fight fans. Look, boxing is for the masses. You have the Jake Paul fight coming up this Friday with Mike Tyson on Netflix. The whole world is going to be watching. So it's an opportunity for our sport to unite, for our sport to grow, and just and tell the world we're here, we're staying, and we're bigger and better than ever.
You mentioned Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. We will, of course, get onto that. Just on Saturday's main event, look, I've got my UK hat on. I'm hoping the gentleman, Chris Smith, does it. I won't
Yeah,
to you.
it's a great fight.
Is a great fight. Unification, two cruiserweights. Also, a division that I don't think got the respect it was due in the past. I think now
Yeah.
the cruiserweight division is getting that. Talk me through the two of them going into Saturday night.
Yeah, no, you take a look at the division, the cruiserweight division, which hasn't really received too much attention. It's always been, the stepchild of boxing. You have Zurdo Ramirez, who was the very first Mexican national to win the 168-pound belt, and then he moves up in weight and goes to light heavyweight, now cruiserweight, and challenges Billiam Smith, who is an excellent fighter. I mean, this is going to be a very difficult fight for both guys. Billiam Smith is a guy who throws a lot of punches, comes forward, has a lot of heart. They're fighting for all the belts. They're fighting for the unification. So it's very important for boxing. It's very important for the UK boxing, for Mexican boxing, for the fight fans. It's gonna be one of those events where everything is on the line, especially the fact that Usyk has mentioned he wants to come back down to cruiserweight. So the winner of this fight can possibly fight Usyk. That should be very exciting for both guys, Billiam and Zurdo Ramirez.
Well, that is something that would definitely motivate them going into Saturday. I suppose also we're seeing more undisputed champions than ever before. I suppose even if it isn't the Oleksandr Usyk fight for the winner here, I'm sure that around the corner, getting another belt and sort of building the way to having another division with a undisputed king at the top.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, look on this card Saturday night, Latino nights. We have Oscar Collazo, the little guys, the flyweights who are going to unify. That might steal the show. It's going to be a great fight. But in boxing, we're seeing fighters who are daring to be great, and I love that because in my era when we fought, especially myself, I was known in boxing to fight the very best and never duck anybody. So the fact that fighters are now fighting each other, the fight fans are being able to witness the best fighting the best is it's a breath of fresh air for boxing, and that's the way we grow the sport. That's the way we attract the masses, the fight fans, the eyeballs to our sport that we love so much. And it starts with the fighters. I think the fighters are finally becoming courageous, are finally taking chances. They're finally daring to be great.
I think financially, obviously, also the incentives will always help, but I think they're also realizing more so than ever that, they're actually being rewarded for taking a risk and taking certain
Sure.
opportunities. Yeah.
Well, look, I've always lived by one rule when I was fighting. I didn't care about how much money I was making. I cared about my legacy first. A lot of fighters at times they care about how much money they're making and then hoping they become legends.
Mm.
It should be the other way around. If you become a legend and you fight the very best, guess what? You're going to make big purses. So I think fighters now are realizing, wow, you know what? If I step up in competition, if I fight the very best, my purses are going to be through the roof. So it's a win-win for everybody. It's a win for the fans. It's a win for the promoters, for the managers, for the fighters especially, because they're making a lot of money. So I think that we are here in a new era in boxing where fighters are starting to realize that they must take chances. They must step into the ring with the very best. And whether you win or lose, if you fight hard, you come out victorious. That's what fighters are realizing. So I think it's a great era in our sport now, and I think we're on to something. I think Turkey El Sheikh has injected boxing with such great positivity and an injection of energy. So everybody involved in boxing is now just is literally just happy as can be because we know we're gonna get the best fights that we can see today and in the future.
Oscar, you mentioned Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. We'd probably be a little bit silly if we weren't to discuss it. My mum was on the TV the other day. She went, "Oh, Jake Paul's fighting Mike Tyson." I went, "Jesus, do you know as well?" Look,
Yeah.
I think I put my fan head on it, and maybe you'll come at me with a similar approach. I think it's fun. I know people will watch it. Ultimately, at 58 years of age, which I think Mike is, we know that your punch resistance isn't the same. We know that his legs won't be as quick. We know that they're in 14-ounce gloves. It's 2-minute rounds. I mean, Oscar, what's your take on it all?
Well, look, I mean, I've always been an admirer of Jake Paul. I have to admire his accomplishments. Growing up on Nickelodeon as an actor, a child star, and having a dream, a vision of becoming a world champion. I mean, he's taking fights that are helping him grow and become, an experienced fighter, an elite fighter. But I sometimes question I sometimes question, his tactics. Fighting a Mike Tyson who's 58 years old, or fighting a ex-basketball player who he can knock out. Yes, I understand it's all entertainment. I understand that he's done a incredible job in marketing himself and picking and choosing the right opponents. But he's taking this sport very serious. And if you're going to take it serious, then go down the path that legendary fighters have gone. For instance, fight real fighters, fight fighters that are your age, fight fighters that are gonna elevate your game, who are gonna be risky for you. You know, you fight a Mike Tyson, yes, it's a money grab, and it's great. I have no problem with that. But you're fighting a Mike Tyson that's almost 60 years old. You're fighting a Mike Tyson that only has a chance to win in the first 3 rounds because he's 60 years old. Jake Paul is a young, strong fighter who is now becoming dangerous, who is becoming experienced in the sport. One punch from Jake Paul, well landed, can easily knock out Mike Tyson. We have to be honest with ourselves. So yeah, I just wish that everybody comes out healthy, especially because Tyson being 60 years old. But I think it's going to be entertaining. I think that the masses will be watching across the world, and I think it's a positive thing that Jake Paul and Tyson are fighting. I think that it only attracts more eyeballs to our sport that we love so much.
That I agree with. What's your take on it being 8 rounds and 2 minutes in 14-ounce gloves? That's not something we traditionally see in professional male boxing. That's more exhibition sort of standard.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was an exhibition or a real fight.
Not, it's a professional fight, but they are doing
Yeah,
it rounds with 14 ounce.
right. That was a little confusing to me. I mean, I know everything about boxing, and when I heard it was 8 rounds, 2 minutes, 14-ounce gloves, no headgear, you can knock each other out. Yeah, the difference were the rules were different for this, but no, I think it's going to be entertaining. I think it's going to be a hell of a fight, a hell of a night for boxing. 14-ounce gloves with fighters, their height, their weight, their punching power. I think we are going to witness a knockout. I don't know by who, but we are going to witness a knockout.
I can't even believe I'm saying this sentence, but obviously, if I had to push you for a prediction of Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, who would you give me, Oscar?
Ooh. Yeah, no, I do have to say, with my experience, I think Mike Tyson, given the fact it's 2 minutes, 14-ounce gloves, he has 3 rounds to take care of business. After 3 rounds, that gas tank starts lowering, and he starts to fade away at his age. It's going to be very difficult if it goes past 4 rounds for Tyson. But I think if Tyson lands the right punch in the first 3 rounds, it can be sayonara for Jake Paul. And I give it to Jake Paul if it goes past 4 rounds.
Another one in terms of sort of people getting themselves back in the ring. You could yourself. Uh, Obviously, yourself and Eddie Hearn have had your back and forth, your disputes. Eddie seemed very honoured that you wanted a 2-month camp to prepare for him. Before I talk about that, have you spoke to His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh about this fight? And is it genuinely something that in this mad world of boxing, we could be seeing yourself and Eddie Hearn in the ring?
Hey, I mean, you never know. You never know. Look, we promoters are like the ringleaders, right? We're like the circus, we're the ringleaders, we're the masters of making sure that the events are talked about, that everybody's gonna watch on TV, and we put the fights together. But sometimes the ringleaders, they can have a little beef amongst each other, and the only way to strain out that beef is inside the ring. I heard Eddie Hearn wants to make millions and millions and millions of dollars. Well, guess what, Eddie? If you want to fight and settle it in the ring, I will fight you for free. I have no problem with that. But just give me 2 months so I can make sure I'm in great shape so I can knock you out.
Well, he's now said that he's honoured that you even want 2 months. I mean, look, I like Eddie, I like yourself. Me personally, I'm sure if you were to get in the ring with him tomorrow, you are Oscar De La Hoya. Why do you need 2 months, Oscar?
Well, look, I mean, I feel that. Look, I like Eddie. I really do. And we have fun back and forth, bickering at each other, and you know bringing attention to our events and to our fighters. But yeah, this can be actually something fun, maybe something, towards charity, or I think we've created such a buzz amongst each other that maybe we can do something with it, and maybe we can do something positive, or where we can do some kind of special night. Eddie Hearn's a big guy, but he's not a fighter. He's not a boxer. I strongly feel that. Look, yeah, Eddie's doing a great job. I have a lot of respect for him. Um, our back and forths, I think, are very healthy for the sport of boxing.
Obviously, boxing is something that's always been, it's good fun. It's pantomime at times. We always talk about storylines and narratives in order to sell a fight. When we see your Clapback Thursdays, which are absolutely tremendous, and I'm gutted that today isn't a Thursday because I would have asked you to recreate similar. Uh, how much is real and how much isn't? You're going out there, you're obviously making your thoughts heard, but is there an element of sort of, right, this is theatre, this is, we are selling this to the boxing fans and consumers. How personal is it for you, Oscar?
Yeah, no, look, I came up with Clapback Thursday with my girlfriend, actually, who worked in television. And we were sitting down one day. It was a Wednesday night. Boxing was slow, the news was slow, and we talked about why not create my own episode of Clapback Thursdays, and talk about the news of boxing, but to make sure that it's very authentic, to make sure that it is honest, to make sure that it's the fact, so nobody has an opportunity to come back and question me. So Clapback Thursdays was born by just facts in the sport of boxing, and so the authenticity of it is very, very important to me. Every subject that we come up with is real. It's true, and the little poke at Canelo at the end is something very personal, that one day, maybe on Clapback Thursday, I will explain to the world. We had a great relationship for so many years. I promoted him for 10 years, and what he did to me was a disgrace, to say the least. So the Canelo at the end, the message to him is very authentic and from the heart. But everything else is just the facts. Everything else is true, and boxing has a lot of characters. Boxing is a sport that is very unique. And obviously Eddie Hearn gives me a lot of content to talk about. So as long as we have the Canelos and the Eddies and all the other characters in boxing, Clapback Thursdays will be alive and well for many years to come.
Well, I hope to one day be in some form of your vicinity when you are indeed filming Clapback Thursday. Look, I'm sure
Yes.
I could sit here and speak to you all day. I'm sure the other people on the call probably wouldn't like that. I know you probably wouldn't like that yourself. So just a couple of quick more ones from me. The
You got
5v5, we know Queensbury Boxing and Matchroom. Eddie's floated about the idea. Boots versus Ortiz, Munguia, Pacheco,
yeah,
Shakur Zepeda, Duarte Haney.
yeah,
And Catrol Barboza or Ramirez. I mean, just on your side, is this
yeah.
realistic? Can we look forward to seeing this?
Yeah, no, I love that. I love all those matchups. I mean, Eddie Hearn the other day said, "Yeah, let's do it with Boots and Verge Ortiz." I mean, that card there that you just mentioned is obviously like the Super Bowl of boxing. And my vision would be to maybe stage that in March, or maybe even take away the Cinco de Mayo date from Canelo, live from Las Vegas or live from everywhere, from Riyadh. I think Eddie, Matchroom Boxing, and Golden Boy Promotions putting a 5-5 together will be the biggest event in recent years for boxing. Every single fight will be a pick 'em fight. Every single matchup will be an exciting one. So I think this is what boxing needs. This is what the fans deserve, and the only person to make it happen can be His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh.
What did you think of Boots' performance?
I think he had a tough night. I think he proved to everyone that he is human. he showed a little kinks in his armor, but it doesn't mean that he's not a special fighter. He's still Boots. He's still a fighter who is very dangerous. But I would love to put together Vergil Ortiz versus Boots. That's a firework fight that the fans are urging to see.
Just lastly from me, end of the year, we'll see Tyson Fury look to rematch Oleksandr Usyk,
Yeah,
December 21st. Also in the Kingdom, Oleksandr Usyk is just such a tremendous, tremendous fighter. What he's achieved at cruiserweight, then going up to heavyweight. Also worth saying, he always did it on the road. Very
yeah,
rarely, other than the Daniel Dubois fight, which was in
sure,
an eastern part of Poland, he always had to do it the hard way.
sure.
Usyk will go in the favourite. I mean, how do you see it, Oscar? Does Tyson Fury have a route to victory in the rematch?
I believe he has a great chance at winning Tyson Fury. I had no idea he was going through personal issues stepping into the first fight against Usyk. It shows me the character that Tyson is. It shows me his heart, his passion he has for boxing. I mean, who in their right mind would fight when you're going through something very personal, like Tyson Fury did before Usyk fight? I think that this fight is going to be a very dangerous and tough fight for Usyk the second time around. But look, Usyk, he's a road warrior. He's a fighter that goes to your backyard and beats you. Same with Tyson when he fought Wilder in Las Vegas. These heavyweights are world champions. They're not just champions from the UK or champions from their country or their town. No, these are world champions. So they're in the big stage in Riyadh. The world will be watching. I really feel that Tyson Fury is out for blood. I feel that Tyson Fury will be different in the mind, and I believe physically he will be in the best shape of his life. But Usyk, Usyk is Usyk. He already knows how to beat Tyson. He already knows how to get into his head. He obviously has the advantage, but I think Tyson is going to do something special on that night.
Oscar De La Hoya, you're a gentleman. Thank you very much for your time. All the best the
All
rest of
right.
in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and obviously for everyone watching, like Oscar said at the start of the interview, Zurdo versus CBS, free to air for everyone on DAZN Saturday night.
I appreciate you, man. Great interview. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.